I've spent thousands of dollars of my own money buying over 100 AliExpress cycling accessories, and out of everything that I've bought, most of the products were between okay to quite good. However, some of the cycling accessories I bought from AliExpress completely exceeded my expectations, to the point where I could have quite happily paid 2 or 3 times the price that I did pay for them, and it would still have been a good buy. So out of the more than 100 cycling accessories I've bought, I've ranked my top 5 in order from 5th place all the way down to my number 1 purchase from AliExpress. And a quick disclaimer, I'm not sponsored by any of the companies in this video. I bought all of these 5 cycling accessories with my own money, and I do have affiliate links in the description below if you do want to check them out. With that out of the way, in 5th place, but probably the most fun cycling accessory on my list, is the New Baller 10,000 lumen light. This light is just an absolute monster. No one needs a 10,000 lumen floodlight strapped to the front of their handlebars, but that's also what makes it fun. Right? To put that into perspective, a typical car headlight produces 1,000 to 2,000 lumens, which means this tiny light here, well, it's not that small for a light, but it's small relative to the number of lumens. It's 5 to 10 times brighter than your car's headlight. And I'll show you some footage of me using this light on pitch black country roads a little bit later on. Seriously, it lights up the entire road ahead and the trees to the side in what New Baller calls 180-degree floodlight technology. But just getting into the specifications first, so I picked this New Baller 10,000 lumen light from AliExpress for $41. I paid for it with my own money. The package includes the light itself, handlebar mounting brackets, rubber protection strips, an Allen key USB-C cable, and a USB adapter. The build quality is amazing. It's constructed from military-grade aluminium alloy with dual mounting brackets to handle the weight and the size. The standout feature after the 10,000 lumen is the massive 10,000 milliamp battery. So this not only powers the crazy bright 10,000 lumen, but it doubles as a power bank. So my iPhone 13 Pro has a 3,095 milliamp battery. So this light, in theory at least, should be able to charge my iPhone battery at least twice, which is very useful because I use this light when riding at nighttime, often in the middle of nowhere. So if I did become stranded and my phone battery died, then at least I would have this as a backup to top up the battery of my iPhone. So the light offers 4 modes. It has floodlight, spotlight, highlight, and flash, and with a battery life ranging from 4.5 hours to 9 hours, depending on the settings. There's an LED display here showing the runtime in hours and minutes, which is nice because I prefer that over a percentage indicator, which most battery indicators are. However, you can choose between the two in the settings. The accuracy of the battery indicator is also really good. So if it tells you that it has 60 minutes left, you probably have about 60 minutes left. It's rated at IP65, which is waterproof, and it handles heavy rain and muddy conditions. Of course, I wouldn't throw it in the shower or the bath because that would just be silly. Mounting took about 10 minutes using the supplied aluminium bracket. A bit of a warning, this is a chunky light, and it does take up quite a lot of space on the handlebars. So I had to remove my Garmin mount to fit it, but for mountain biking where I rarely use the GPS or the Garmin computer anyway, it wasn't too much of an issue. I tested this on completely dark country roads to see how it performs in real conditions. The floodlight mode illuminates not just ahead, but it spreads light left and right, giving excellent peripheral vision. The spotlight mode throws light further forward, but with less side coverage. Highlight mode is where you get full 10,000 lumens with all 8 of the LEDs active, and this is my preferred setting for trail riding just because you do utilize the full 10,000 lumen. Now, for the drawbacks of having 10,000 lumens strapped to your handlebars, in my opinion, this isn't suitable for city riding or areas with traffic and pedestrians. Despite New Baller's anti-glare claims, you can see that these two LEDs and these two LEDs have some kind of blurred technology on them to stop the lights from shining too much to the left or too much to the right. at the end of the day, is 10,000 lumens, and 10,000 lumens will dazzle oncoming people regardless of beam distribution technology. The ideal use case is, of course, off-road riding where you need maximum visibility without worrying about blinding others. At $41 though, from the official New Baller AliExpress store, which has over, I think, 4,000 sales and 707 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars the last time I checked, this represents, in my opinion, amazing quality, amazing value. They offer 2,000 and 5,000 lumen versions for $15 and $35 respectively, but I mean, for $6 more, you can get the full monster that is 10,000 lumens, so like, why not just go to the full 10,000 lumens? And I'll drop a link to the official New Baller AliExpress store below. It is important that you don't buy from a third party and you actually buy from the official New Baller store. Now, onto my fourth favorite AliExpress purchase, which is the Ride Now TPU bike inner tubes, the upgraded 2005 version. So just a couple of months ago, Ride Now launched the newly upgraded TPU inner tubes. These have an upgraded metal nozzle as opposed to the plastic nozzles on the originals. And the original Ride Now TPU inner tubes are ridiculously highly reviewed, and I've reviewed them myself on this channel. I really like them. So when these upgraded inner tubes were launched, I thought, well, why not? Because for me, they solve a real problem. They're compact enough to fit inside the Trek Demani's frame, which is behind me, for emergency repairs, unlike the butyl tubes, which I was using. I mean, you can see the size difference and the weight difference. These are about 90 grams lighter, but these don't fit inside my Trek Demani. These fit very nicely inside my Trek Demani frame. So, I mean, for me, considering these are the same price, it's a bit of a no-brainer. They also offer better rolling resistance than these butyl tubes. The upgraded version of these tubes addresses the main versions of the original design. So the new tubes feature aluminium valve stems instead of plastic ones, making them significantly more durable. They've also added removable valve cores, which the previous generation lacked entirely. Despite being recently launched, these upgraded TPU tubes have already sold over 1,000 units on AliExpress, averaging 4.9 out of 5 stars. So at $10, that's solid validation from early adopters, and it makes it a relatively safe purchase. But if you do buy them, do make sure that you actually buy the upgraded version. They're the same price as the original, so I mean, it's a no-brainer to buy the upgraded version, but there are so many different types on the market, so I've dropped a link in the description to the upgraded versions so you don't accidentally buy the older tubes. Also, I am curious, if you've tried these tubes yet, let me know what you think of them. Even better, if you've tried the original tubes and then the newly upgraded tubes, do you see much of an improvement? Let me know in the comments. Now on to third place is the Anker Eufy C1 Smart Weighing Scales. Now, this isn't strictly just a cycling product. It's more of I would say, a lifestyle product, but it's one product that I bought in the last, I would say, 12 months that has the biggest positive effect on my life. But it might also be the single best investment I've made for improving my speed on the bike. So let me explain. When I was a teenager, I could eat whatever I wanted, and because I had quite a fast metabolism, I'd just burn off the fat, so I'd just stay super skinny. As I've gotten older, unfortunately, I can't eat anything and everything, or I could, but the food kind of goes straight to my belly and I end up getting a very big belly. The one thing that kept that in control though is the Anker Eufy C1 Smart Weighing Scale. So I've talked about this in previous videos, so I won't go into too much detail, but about 12 months ago I weighed in at 79 kilograms, and for context I'm 183 centimeters tall, so I wasn't exactly fat as such, but let's just say I didn't have a six-pack. So I bought the Anker Eufy C1 scales. Again, I bought it with my own money, and I started tracking my weight, and every morning for the whole year I've stepped on these scales and I weighed myself. And what happens when you start tracking something every day, you can start to control it. So if my weight was going up slightly, I see it immediately, so I do something about it. If it goes down slowly, I see it immediately. Long story short, I weighed in at 79 kilograms. Now I'm a much healthier 74 kilograms, which is my target weight. I have no intention of losing any weight or putting on any weight, but I still step on the scale every morning to make sure that I maintain this kind of 74 to 75 kilograms, because I know if I don't weigh myself every day, my weight can very gradually just start to creep up without me even noticing. And in terms of a cycling upgrade, I've lost 5 kilograms this year and I've maintained my weight. So 5 kilograms is the difference between like a ultra light 8 kilogram bike and a quite heavy 13 kilogram bike. So I'm probably quite a bit faster on the bike because I'm not having to drag along an extra 5 kilograms. Another upgrade that made me a lot faster on the bike, and in second place on this list, is, let me just go and get it because I don't think it's going to fit on my desk.
A few moments later.
Is this too big to show? Okay. It's the Elite Wheels Carbon Wheels ENT 2.0. Actually, these carbon wheels were going to be my #1 pick, but about 2 months ago, I found something else that I loved even more than these wheels, and we'll get onto what they were very shortly. So these 50mm carbon wheels transformed both the look and performance, more importantly, of my Trek Domani. So I'll say firstly, this is going to sound quite superficial, but the aesthetic upgrade alone to my Trek Domani bike was definitely worth it. The deeper 50mm profile look dramatically better than Trek's stock 21mm Bontrager rim. I live in, as you can see behind me, a relatively small 1-bedroom apartment, and I store my bike literally right here, and I walk past it probably dozens of times a day because it's in my living room. So it does help if my bike is nice to look at. However, more importantly, the performance benefits are also significant. Stock Bontrager wheels weigh in at 2,100 grams for the pair, while these Elite wheels come in at 1,620 grams. So a 500 gram reduction. While that might not sound massive, rotational weight savings in wheels makes a noticeable difference in acceleration and particularly climbing. So every pedal stroke feels more responsive, and the real advantage really comes from aerodynamics. As you can see, 50mm depth cuts through air far more efficiently than shallow rims. Now, I'm not claiming miraculous speed gains, but on longer rides at steady pace, the aero benefits are definitely noticeable. Combined with aero bars I recently added for my Ironman 70.3 training, these wheels, along with the aero bars, complete the aerodynamic package. At least for me, a very amateur, extremely amateur athlete. The biggest surprise though was the comfort. So the carbon construction dampens road vibrations better than the stock wheels, reducing hand and arm fatigue on longer rides. And this comfort improvement was completely unexpected, but very welcome. Now, these wheels go for around $350 to $400 from AliExpress, and for the money, the build quality is ridiculously good. So I've been using these wheels for more than a year now. I think I'm on about 12 or 13 months, and they're still going strong, no signs of wear, there are no chips or scratches, the hubs spin smoothly and spokes remain properly tensioned, and I reckon, touch wood, they'll still last a good couple of years more. So for $350 to $400, I really can't complain. These wheels on Elite Wheels' official AliExpress store, and it is important that you buy from the official AliExpress store, I'll drop a link in the description below. They have over 2,000 sales with 311 reviews, averaging 4.9 out of 5 stars. So I'm not the only person that loves these wheels. They won't match the ultralight performance of like $1,000, $1,500 zip wheels in terms of weight and probably warranty too. But for the price point, they're incredibly good value for money. The combination of weight saving, hello Mia. The combination of weight saving, aerodynamic benefits, and improved comfort is why, out of the over 100 AliExpress cycling upgrades, in my opinion, these are my second favourite buy. And again, I did buy these with my own money. I'm not sponsored by Elite Wheels. As always, it is important that you buy from Elite Wheels' official AliExpress store, especially if you're paying over $350. I'll drop a link in the description for these exact ENT 2.0 wheels from their official store. Okay, now on to my #1 AliExpress purchase. Out of more than 100 items that I've bought, they are the YKYW bike men's cycling bib shorts. These bib shorts are one of the most sold cycling products on AliExpress, with over 5,000 bib shorts sold, and one of the best reviewed cycling products on AliExpress, with 1,328 reviews, averaging 4.9 stars at the time of filming this video. And I'll be honest, I was very skeptical for two reasons. Firstly, the brand's name, can't even say it, YKYW Bike, in all capital. I don't know, it doesn't exactly fill you with confidence that it's a premium brand. Secondly, I'm extremely picky with my bib shorts. I really value comfort, the slightest hint of discomfort, and I'm like, no, this is not it. But I thought, okay, 1,329 reviews, averaging 4.9 stars, they can't all be wrong, right? So at $30, I took a shot. Worst case scenario, I make a video on them about how terrible they are, and I throw them in the cupboard, never to see daylight again. And as with everything in this video, I bought these with my own money. So they came in the post, I tried them on, and oh my goodness, they're amazing, at least for the price, right? The first thing I noticed, they feel very soft, very premium, and it's kind of hard to articulate what I mean. And you can't reach into your screen and touch them yourself, but there are two materials. You can see this material here, which is a little bit textured, and then you've got this softer material here. But they both feel very premium. I tried them on and they fit me nicely. For reference, I'm 183 centimeters and 75 kilograms, and I chose Asian size XL, which is EU large. I could have probably gotten away with one size smaller, so Asian size large or EU medium as well. But I don't like cycling clothes that are too tight. I'd much rather have something slightly too loose than slightly too tight. Saying that, they do fit nicely. Speaking of comfort, these are very comfortable. And that for me is the one main reason this is my favorite AliExpress product so far, because I really wasn't expecting them to be this comfortable. I've gone through a lot of bib shorts in the past. Super cheap $10 shorts from AliExpress to $80 mid-range bib shorts from Decathlon to $260 top-of-the-line MAP Alt Road Carbon 2.0 bib shorts. The $10 AliExpress bib shorts were very poor quality and not comfortable at all. The $80 bib shorts, the most uncomfortable bib shorts I've ever worn. The chamois inside the shorts just kind of cut into my groin, not pleasant. The $260 MAP bib shorts, they're amazing. I really don't have any complaints except for the extortionate price tag. But I'm not exaggerating here. These YKYW Bike $30 bib shorts are not too far off the $260 MAP bib shorts in terms of comfort and quality. Now, saying that, the MAP bib shorts are better quality. They're more comfortable, although there's not too much in it. The MAP shorts have better warranty and probably better durability, although that's just speculation. I've worn the MAP bib shorts for about a year, and I've worn these YKYW Bike bib shorts for about 2 months, but both bib shorts are holding strong. The MAP bib shorts also have pockets, which are the feature that not many shorts have, but I use every single time I wear them. It just feels safer having my phone in my shorts pocket as opposed to behind me in my jersey pocket, where a thief might be able to pass by and snatch it out of my pocket. Even if that is unlikely to happen, it's probably more of a psychological thing. Also, I can access my phone easier when it's in my short pocket as opposed to reaching behind my back. So yes, when I go for a bike ride, I still reach for my MAP bib shorts far more often than the YKYW Bike. That name, seriously, YKYW Bike bib shorts. But if I could turn back time, I wouldn't have spent $260 for the MAP shorts, and I would have just bought these $30 bib shorts. Because in my opinion, these are about 70% of the $260 bib shorts in terms of comfort, in terms of quality, for about 10% of the price. Crazy good value, and that's why they land in my top spot for my favourite AliExpress purchase so far. I've dropped links to this exact pair of bib shorts in the link below if you do want to check them out. So I mentioned the Elite Wheels Carbon Wheels ENT 2.0 earlier in the video, and I mentioned the New Baller 10,000 Lumen Light. I've made full reviews on both of them. You can click on either of these cards on the screen to watch those, and I'm always looking to review more AliExpress cycling gear, so let me know in the comments what you recommend. I read every single comment, and if you do recommend something, I will consider buying it and reviewing it on this channel.